I was always hesitant to start a podcast because, well, I've got a busy life, and the last thing I want to do was add one more chore on my to-do list. I thought about paying others to do it for me, but just didn't feel like it was worth it. My mind changed when I heard about Spotify for podcasters and how simple and easy it was to record, edit, schedule, and distribute my podcast everywhere I wanted it to be. Seriously, the process takes you less than 5 minutes, and that's including putting together polls and questions to engage with your listeners, plus adding ads and subscriptions. That way you can make a little money on the side or turn it into your main source of income. And best of all, they do all this for free. So instead of putting money in other people's pockets, choose the platform that does the work for you and helps put money in yours. Get started at www.spotify.com/podcasters or download the Spotify for Podcasters app today. Welcome back to the show, guys. In today's episode, we're going to talk about the worst possible thing that can happen to you in trading if you make a very certain mistake. Speaking of mistake, it would be a big mistake to miss our upcoming free online trading workshop. It's called the Cyber Trader. It's kicking off October 24th, 3 full days, maybe a fourth if you're lucky, of trading education geared around what you guys want to learn about. So make sure you check it out. It's going to start October 24th. I'll get you some sign up details later, but pay attention to the space. Mark off those calendars. That way you don't miss it. We haven't done one of these in like 3 years. I don't know when we're going to do it again, but we're feeling it. So we're going to do it and we want you to be there. Check it out. The Cyber Trader starting October 24th, www.tier1trading.com. Is that a risk reward that looks appealing to you? Right? Probably not, right? We just had the conversation about kind of the balance between grade A trades and lower risk rewards versus grade B trades and higher risk rewards, and how we want to kind of maintain that balance. Now, two things. One, this wouldn't be a grade A trade. So you're probably not necessarily looking for a low risk reward to begin with in a trading opportunity that's not a grade A trade. Two, you still have to have minimum requirements. So you can't just be like, hey, this is a grade A trade, so I'm going to take any risk reward that the market gives me. Trust me, you will get into a lot of trouble because even though it's a grade A trade, it doesn't mean it's going to win all the time. And at the end of the day, your wins still have to make up for your losses. Therefore, if you consistently put yourself in a situation where even if you're winning and your wins aren't making up for your losses, meaning you're not winning at a high enough clip, you're gonna lose money. And you're gonna be in that weird trading situation where you have a positive win percentage and you're all excited because you're judging yourself off your win percentage, but you're still break even or losing money, and then you don't know what's happening, and then you start to like blame your system and your strategy and you jump to something else, and we go back into that kind of spiral we spoke about earlier where you're hopping from book to book, video to video, strategy to strategy on the hamster wheel of death. So you still have to give yourself a minimum requirement, right? You still have to say, hey, I would prefer, a 2-to-1 risk reward every trade. But my minimum requirement is a 1-to-1. And then you tell yourself, hey, anything less than a 1-to-1 or whatever that requirement may be for you, anything less than that 1-to-1 is untradeable. Doesn't matter if you love the trade. It could be the greatest trade in the world. If it doesn't meet all the rules, you got to let it go. Go demo trade it or something if you want to itch that scratch. But you can't put yourself in situations like this, because the worst thing that's going to happen is, I tell you what, many people think the worst thing that can happen is you lose. The worst thing that can happen is you win. Why do you think winning would be the worst thing that can happen in a situation like this, where you accidentally put yourself in a trading situation where you have a really bad risk reward? It's the same thing with breaking rules in general, right? Because now you're positively reinforced for doing something bad, right? It's no different than with kids, right? If a kid does something bad and you reward them for it, do you think they're going to stop that behavior? No, they're going to keep doing it because they're associating, okay, well, I did this and I got a good result out of it, so why wouldn't I do it again? So the worst thing you can do in trading is you break your rules and profit off of it. Because now all of a sudden you're thinking back, and we all have this recency bias. I don't care how experienced you are. We all have this recency bias. You start thinking back, and now you're like, well, the last time I did it, it won. So I should do it again. Right? You see that a lot in gambling. A lot of people that bet on sports, they'll make and sports are so random, they'll make this random bet that is the dumbest bet in the world, where they'll pick. The other day, right, I was talking to Brendan on the chat about this morning, how about my Dallas Cowboys destroyed his Patriots. Oh, it's glorious. But the week before, the Cowboys were looked at as being like, oh, the Cowboys might be the best team in the NFL. They might be the best team in the NFL. Their defense was incredible. Their offense was on fire. There were conversations, Dallas Cowboys, Super Bowl contenders. And you know who they were playing? They're playing this team called the Arizona Cardinals. And if you look up sucks in the dictionary, you're going to see the logo of the Arizona Cardinals, because they're absolutely horrible. So it was a no-brainer that the Cowboys were going to beat them. And I don't sports bet, but if I did, I would have bet whatever money was. I would have put everything on the table, right? I would have bet anything on the Cowboys were going to win, and Cowboys were going to win by like a massive amount. You know what the Cowboys did? They lost. They lost because sports are random. But I guarantee there was someone who bet on that game, just taking the Cardinals because of whatever. They just want to be different. And they won. And it could have been just pure dumb luck that they won on whatever bet they did. But now they think they're good. So you know what they did this week? This week, they went and took a whole bunch of bad teams, right? They took all the money they won. They said, I'm going to bet on all the bad teams, because you get better odds when you pick underdogs. And they bet all the bad teams. They're like, I'm going to make a killing. Calling their partner up, start planning a vacation, because this is happening, right? And you know what happened? Reality happened, and they lost everything because they made a dumb bet. The truth is, right, you get lucky sometimes. You get unlucky sometimes too, right? But luck happens in the market, right? We can't control anything. All we're doing is playing probability and odds. And the best trading strategy in the world is going to lose. The worst trading strategy in the world is going to win, because that's what markets do. The key is your long-term projections. What can you consistently do? What is going to consistently give you an edge? What is going to consistently shift the probabilities in your favor over time? And over time is not today. It's not tomorrow. It's not this week. I hate hearing the traders, oh, I had a bad week, I should ditch my strategy. Like, you idiot. You idiot. It's not a month. I would say at a minimum, it's yearly. But it's even longer than that. And that's the key. So you can't get suckered into the emotions that come with these bets. And this is why we always preach the process over outcome. If you do something bad in the market and you win, punish yourself. Like, don't punish yourself, within reason, right? Don't go to one of those places where you pay people to like whip you and beat you and stuff like that. Unless you're into that sort of thing. If you are, I don't judge. I don't care. But punish yourself and give yourself a bad grade in your journal. Put a red. I do this to myself. I fill in the box in red. Right? Because red, I associate red with all the bad grades I got in school when I was younger. So I'm like, red. I don't like seeing that red splotch. That's how I punish myself. I reward myself with green. And Jason said they lose 10x what they made within 6 months. Yep. Been there. I used to call myself the charitable trader. Because I would make it and then I would give it all back. And man, giving all it's funny. Like it's the old stock market reference, right? Where it's bulls take the stairs, bears take the windows, right? I would say that your winning is like taking the stairs, right? It takes so long to win and grow your account. Then how come when you lose losing always seems to happen in like a day? I don't know if you guys have been there. Like, I feel like it takes so long to consistently grow your account. You're working on it. You're having a good week, a good month, and like you put this streak together, and like 3 months later, you're sitting back and you're proud at what you did. And then it takes like 1 day or 1 week to lose all of that. And you're like, how did I lose 3 months worth of stuff in one in 1 week? That's trading, man. You gotta prevent that. You gotta prevent that. So that risk reward is important, guys. Hold on, let me jot down some notes here. That risk reward is important, guys. So you want to make sure that the risk profile is in your favor. Yeah, so 2 options here. This is going to be based off your trading personality, whether you're conservative or aggressive. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Do me a favor, let me know if you've ever made the mistake that we spoke about in this podcast, meaning you've been in a situation where you were positively rewarded for a negative act and you felt a little overconfident and maybe did it again, or if you have another mistake that you frequent and you think other traders need to hear about, let me know as well. Again, the Trading Coach Podcast is for traders by traders, so I'm always looking for your feedback and I'm always looking to turn that into new episodes. All right, until next time, plan your trade, trade your plan. Take care.